Hello and welcome back to the workshop. I'm Jimmy the Mower and today we're going to be unboxing and assembling this new Titan 2000 watt chainsaw available from Screwfix. So, a pal of mine picked this up the other day for a bit of work around his garden. He didn't fancy a petrol one or a battery one. He thought he'd be happy with a plug-in one, electric 2000 watt. He arrived and he said he'd got to put it together. And I said, don't do it yet. I'll come and pick it up from you. Let me put it together and we'll do a short video so it'll help anybody out there who might be interested. Without further ado, we'll just open the box. Right, I think that's all the bits and pieces out of there. Let's have a look at what there is, apart from a dead spider on this end. I think he was free of charge. So we've got a Titan chainsaw bar, we've got a spanner, an instruction book, and we've got a chain to go on there. An Oregon chain, so they're always good chains, they are. And at least with an Oregon chain, you ever need to get it sharpened, you can always get the bits to sharpen it, and you can always get a replacement chain as well. They're easy to source. And then I presume this is the main body of the saw, and our cord there to plug it in, and there's your bar guard. Right, I'll have a quick flick through these instructions, and I'll get right back to you. So, I've had a quick look through the instructions in the getting started bit, and basically, like most chainsaws, we just have to put this bar on here and put the chain around the bar and then tension it up to get it going. So it can seem a little bit daunting if you've never done this before, and if you're unsure about doing it, just take it to a professional place and get them to do it for you, because these are really dangerous things. You've basically got a saw. You know how you saw through a log or a piece of wood, and it's quite difficult sometimes and a bit tough, and you're going backwards and forwards. Well, this is basically a saw on a chain. That's what a chainsaw is, and it spins very, very fast, shooting round. So each stroke that you do backwards and forwards is basically half a revolution of this bar on the, or this chain on this bar, I should say. So whereas you've done 50 strokes backwards and forwards, this will cut through it in 20-30 seconds. It's straight through, and you've got to be really careful with how you use it, and also make sure that you know how to use it and it's all been set up properly. So this is a rough guide, but please, if you're unsure, go and take it to a professional. Right, before we start, we have to remove the cover on the side. There's only this one little nut, and you get the tool with it as well. So we'll pop that tool on and we'll turn it round a couple of times. If you need a socket, I think it's probably about a 13, something like that instead. So I'm hoping I'll be able to undo this quickly. It's a problem with these spanners that come with the things. They're always like, you know, half turn and quarter turn jobs. They're never great, are they? Right, so that's the retaining nut off. We'll keep that over there so we know we've got it safe. We'll take the cover off as well, put that over there. We've got that safe. Now, this here is the main drive sprocket, and that's what drives the chain round the bar. This is the bar fits on there, like so, and it fits in there, and you put the cover back on. The chain goes round and it's driven by the sprocket there. What we need to do is get this bar fixed on, then we need to get the chain round the bar, and then we need to tension it up properly. So I'll show you how to do that. First of all, in the instructions, it said this little bit here, that's there, that needs to be on the left-hand side. So I can see straight away that needs to be back there. And I'll tell you why that is, because when we do this and bring that bit forward, that puts some more tension on the chain. It pushes the bar along and effectively shortens the chain, makes the bar longer and the chain tighter. So we need this all the way back, so as loose as it can be. And once that's as loose as it can be, over on that side, we can put the chain on easily, and then we can slide it all the way across. Blimey, again, this is going to take some doing. I'll just spin this round. And then we can put some tension on there and it will work. So I'll just move this to the back, all the way to the left-hand side. Right. It's a fiddly little job, eh? Right, so that's all the way to the left-hand side. Put that down. Now the bar goes on. We put the bar on. It fits like so on there. And you can see it moves freely backwards and forwards. Look, with that, we've released all the tension from there and it moves backwards and forwards. That's how that works. Slides in and out. So we put it to there. We can put the chain round now. Then once we put the chain round, we can adjust the tension so the chain will stay on there. And then we can put the cover back on loosely and adjust the chain properly. Just hope this all goes to plan. Let's open the chain. There is some instructions on the back of the chain as well. And I must say that the instructions in here are quite comprehensive. But looking at photographs of it being done and seeing somebody actually do it are two very different things. And if you're unsure or you don't quite have the feel for it, you can watch the video and you can see how it's done. So that's what I'm trying to do now. But we'll just take this chain out of the packet. Now you can use gloves for handling these because they are quite sharp, but I'll take the risk of, I've used them many times. So look at this. Tangled up to start with, right? So give me a couple of moments to untangle all of this. Oh, I haven't had to do this since I was a kid and sort out the chain on my bike. I've never had one so tangled when it came out of the packet. There you go. One continuous loop, all done, right? So we've got to put the chain on the bar. Now there's a little picture on the bar that shows us which way the chain goes round. And then we'll know exactly how it goes. It's twisted up again, goodness me. Right. There's the picture on the bar. That shows us where it goes round and which way it faces. So we match this up. We match this up with there. So for us, it's the chain round that way, right? That's the way it goes. So that is the way it goes on this bar. It sits on here. We have the cutting head at the back, and that's how it fits. So all we do, we slide this in. There you go. We've slid that in and we've got a loop at the end of there. Now that loop goes around the drive socket. So with a bit of luck, we should be able to get this around the drive socket and slide this onto there. And then we've just got to locate that little pin that we moved along, if we can. Oh, look at that. I didn't take enough tension off it. Or I've not done that properly. Let me just see. I'll lift it up so I can get a better view. Oof. Right, I'll take the chain off and I'll just put the bar on again and see if that works. Right, we've got the bar on. We're happy with that. Right, I'll take this off. We'll try and work it the other way then. Put the chain on first. Push that to the end. Oh goodness, there's not a lot of room on this. There really isn't. No, it's not going to go that way. Right, we better start again. My goodness me, that was a faff. I'll tell you what, I've used some chainsaws in my time and I've set some up, loads of different brands, and I've never done one as tricky as this or as fiddly as this. Right, in the drive sprocket at the back are some little slots, and that's where the drive teeth have to fit into those slots. And then when it's on there, look, it won't bend or come off. But to get that in is so tricky. I'm going to take it off now and try put it back on for you on camera so you can sort of see what I'm doing or kind of get an idea. Now, I lifted that off like that. Right, I was right the first time. We got the chainsaw on the bar. So we've got the chain on the bar there. We move this bit right over as far as we can. That's got to go there. And then here on this little drive sprocket, look, we've got an over the top bar and an underneath bar. So we've got to try and slot the teeth underneath and lock in either side and get the center one down there. Or, as I just did it there, the easiest way I think was to pull the other one back and get that slotted in under that bit, but we'll put that at the back, and then the two others either side and into there. Now, that's easier said than done. I'll try it again, but my goodness, it took some jigging about. I went through the manual again and again, and I couldn't see it. No wonder people have asked me about these saws before. So let's try and do it again then. Now, I'm stuck already here, look. Stuck already. Let's move it round slightly on the bar, if we can. Pull it tight. Right, so we've got the chain on the bar. Oh, or we should have. Right, that's on there and that's tight all the way round. Then we put that on there. We need, that one's gone in. Put that one in treat there. Turn it round. That one in. That one in. And then just about enough. There we go. And just slotted it in. Now, I think the trick is to get the one on the back first. And once the one on the back is locked in and underneath, you've got to twist this round slightly to get it on. But once it's on, it's locked underneath and it won't come out. That's why it's so tricky to get it on. It's like, if you ever had a bike before and you can only get to half of the chain and you manage to get the chain on the top, just on the top, and you turn the pedal slightly, and as you turn the pedal, it pulls the rest of the chain round and back on. That's the idea behind this. I've never had one as difficult as this, never. So I can understand why people have problems. Now, once that's on there, obviously we've got a bit of flexibility in there. It's moving up and down. So what we need to do is get back to the tensioning screw underneath that we used before with this tool or any screwdriver, and we need to put some tension on it to pull it out a bit. So it's going to be difficult for me to show you this. In fact, I'll just turn the whole saw around. And there you go. It's difficult to fall off. It's not difficult to fall off when you tip it the other way. Right, we'll start again. Chain on the bar. I'll be an expert at this by the end of the video. Chain on the bar. Put that on top. That's it. And then it's not quite there. Turn it round a little bit. Try and pull the other one in. No, that won't quite go. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's in, and that's in. We're all in. Right, we're back in again. Third time lucky, eh? Third time lucky. Right, so we get this done. And just make sure. Now we'll tension it up. Now tension it up then, I won't turn it over again. I'll just try and use this underneath and screw that through. And that should pull it forward. Yeah, that's put a lot more tension on there now. A lot more. Right, so we've got a lot more tension on there. And it does just about turn, okay? Now, we put the tension on there, so hopefully, now when I pick it up and and turn it round, it shouldn't fall off. So we've got that to this stage, which is great. Now, don't tighten it up fully, don't tension it fully, because we need to put the cover on first. And what we do is we put the cover on loosely, because if you put the cover on and the cover's tight, you won't be able to tension it at all, because it clamps down on here and stops it moving. There's a little piece of rubber in there. I'm not sure if there's supposed to be two, but there's one on the top there. I don't know if there's one supposed to be on the bottom, but that's missing. But that'll clamp down on the bar and that'll stop the bar from moving. So when I put this on, as long as we don't clamp down on it too tight, we should still be able to put some tension on it. So if we do finger tight, you can see the bar, look, you can see that lifting up as I put the tension on. See, it's moving upwards. So that'll move up to keep the bar straight. Now, hopefully, I'll be able to put this down now, face it towards you, and we should be able to get this in. Probably won't see a thing there, will you? We'll put it round like this, and we'll move this screw, and that should tighten it up. Now, when you're tensioning a chainsaw, once you first use this and done the first couple of cuts with it, you'll have to re-tension it again, because they spin quite quickly and everything just sort of gets lubricated and works its way in. So what we do, we pull the bottom down, and when we pull the bottom down, look, you've just got a little bit of a gap between the chain and the bar. If you let go, it goes back up, springs back up, but you can pull it down and there's a bit of a gap. And if you can do that all the way around, bit of a gap, then that's pretty much how the tension should be. Right, so once we've tensioned that up, that's done. Then we can tighten up this nut on here. Now with that tight, the chain should still move slightly. Yeah, it'll still move along. But with that tension screw, you can move it in and out and it shouldn't be able to move anymore. So you're almost ready to go. The only other thing you've got to do before you get started is put in some lubricating oil. So please don't forget your oil. Just get some chainsaw oil or bar guard oil, whatever it's called by you. I've put some in a little tub here because it's easier for me to pour in. We take this cap off and the oil goes in there. And we've got a minimum and a maximum. I'm not sure how much it takes. It doesn't say in the book, but I've got 200 ml in there and I've got a whole tub out there, 5 litres of it. So I've got more than enough to fill this up. But we'll put some oil in and then we're ready to go, I think. Now it'll be a bit of a slow process putting this oil in because it's quite chilly in here today and this oil is quite thick oil. And the reason why it's thick oil is when this chain's moving round, it's picking up oil from the reservoir underneath there. So as it travels round, it picks up the oil, pushes it round, so it's lubricating the chain and the bar at the same time. Because it gets very hot when it's cutting timber. So with it well lubricated, it keeps it cool and it keeps it running efficiently. I'll put this oil in. Just keep squeezing it through. Let's see how much we've got left. I can see we're getting up towards the 3/4 of the way on that reservoir there. So I'll leave it about 3/4 of the way. You don't want to watch me filling up the oil reservoir. Now just wipe that off. Now with these, don't think it's broken because you will get some oil leaking. You do on all chainsaws. It'll get a little weep around the bottom there where it picks up from the chain. It always happens. So that's that. Right, we've assembled the chainsaw. We've got it running. If you can't move this chain easily, it will slide round. It's not very easy because it's stuck on an electric motor, but this is the chain brake on here. And when that's kicked out, that's the brake on. When that's back, there you go, move freely. When that's out there, and now that's locked in, and that won't move. That's just to protect you. If you're cutting something and it kicks back, then your hand hits that and it locks up and that puts the brake on. So that's us all done then. We've got the chain on, we've put the guard on, we've filled it up with oil, and we're all ready to go and cut some timber. All you need is your personal protective equipment. I'd say chainsaw trousers, boots, and a helmet are the bare minimum. So if you can get those, please do. But that's going to be a whole nother video on us using it. I hope this has been of use putting it together. I hope you're going to have some enjoyment out of it and be able to use your chainsaw now. I know a lot of people have asked me about this and said it's so difficult to get started with it, but I can see why. As I said, I've used these saws many times before, and this is one of the hardest chains I've ever had to put on, but at least it's on now and we know it's good. If you've got anything nice to say or any comments about the videos or any other videos you'd like to watch, then please put that in the comments section below. If you want to take a look at my website, it's jimmythemower.com. If you want to subscribe on YouTube and give me the thumbs up, then that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm Jimmy the Mower. I'll catch you on the next one.